sad times. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Of course, by now, we've all heard about Charlie Kirk, about him being assassinated. He wasn't the first. He's one person that had the voice of the younger generation at this time. But there has been other voices that had their generations and came through their time, and their lives were taken. This white on white violence needs to cease immediately. This is not good. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. James Garfield was assassinated. Robert J. Kennedy was assassinated. I want to say Robert F. Kennedy was assassinated. And they were presidents. What is with this violence that's going on when people can't say what they want to say? When people can't have opposing opinions? People have different thoughts. We are all not the same. You could have 200 people that will turn right. Someone will go left. That's what God gave us, free will, so that you can make choices and you can have these opinions that doesn't sound like your neighbor. But you can still respect that other person. You don't have to kill them. You don't have to cause harm to them. You can hear them out. You don't have to seek them out. If you don't want to hear what someone has to say, don't listen. Go the other way. But intelligent people, they hear both sides. They hear all sides, and then they form a conclusion. For years, this white on white crime has devastated America. Yes, there's other crimes, but they are not as polarizing as some of the crimes that the white on white crime causes. The devastation that it causes. And it seems like it's always done to get into the history books. A lot of these school shootings are done not because someone was angry, not because they was bullied in that school. It's because they want to go down in history. It is something that in the Caucasian DNA, that if they can't be rich, if they are unfortunate, they want to be in history. They want their names to be down in history. And it doesn't always mean for the right reason. So again, the elephant in the room is that another person has been killed because of this white on white crime. Now, people are going to talk about 2A laws, the Second Amendment. And you know what? I believe the Second Amendment should stay. It's an amendment. It was made for the people. To summarize it, is so if the government got out of control, the citizens could protect themselves. If things got so bad, they wanted people to feel like they could protect themselves, their property, their land, the things that they have worked hard for to earn. So I get that. But what no one talks about is the bullets. The bullets. What about that? Is that in the Second Amendment? We need to start putting prices on these bullets. They need to start raising the prices, or they need to start suing these bullet manufacturers. Stop trying to sue the gun manufacturer. You don't know where the gun came from. The gun is only one thing. Yes, it shoots the ammunition, but guns cost money. It's not the gun that takes your lives. The gun is part of the situation that causes a person to lose their lives. It's the bullet. It's the projectile that actually kills the person, that goes into the person's body and causes damage. When you die, they like to say you was killed from gun violence. They like to add it because a gun can cost $300, go up to $4,000. But they don't talk about the bullet because they don't want to say you died from bullet violence, because a bullet could be as cheap as 28 cents. And they don't want you to think that your life was taken away for 28 cents. So that's the sad thing about life. Your life could be taken away for 28 cents. A box of bullets, you can get a box of bullets for $5, and your life could be taken away. Millions of lives have been taken away for 28 cents, a 28-cent bullet. It's a terrible thing. So the 2A laws, all the people that's going to come out here, you're going to have all the gun people, all these big gun people, these big platforms that talking about guns, and they're going to be like, don't blame the guns, blame the mental health and all these other things. You're right. Don't take away their guns. Let's start doing something about the bullets. Bullets do not need to be that cheap. A comedian said years ago that if you made bullets, I think it might have been Chris Rock. He said if you made bullets $20 a bullet, people would think about who they're going to shoot because it'd be too expensive just to be shooting bullets off. Why are not bullets $20? Why are not bullets at least $5 each? If people are willing to spend millions of dollars on lottery tickets and they don't have a problem of spending $5 for a lottery ticket, they can spend $5 for a bullet. But no, you can get a box of bullets for $5 and you can kill someone for one 28-cent bullet. Sadly, that guy, Charlie Kirk, he probably was killed by a bullet that cost less than $1. Now again, the 2A laws, the Second Amendment, they are there. Instead of continuing the fight, someone said when you continue to fight and talk about the same thing over and over again, it is the definition of insanity. We have been going around with this Second Amendment laws forever. People have been trying to change the Second Amendment forever. And the arguments have been going back and forth forever. Both political parties, the same arguments have been going on forever and ever. That's insanity. So stop talking about the Second Amendment and let's talk about the ammunition. People need to start suing the ammunition companies, the ammunition manufacturers, and the ammunition manufacturers need to start raising their bullets. You know what? I pay an extra fee just to use this cell phone to make this talk that I'm saying right now. Just to come on live, I have to pay Verizon money. Plus, I have to pay fees. Then there's the FCC fee, and there's some other fees to be able to get onto this phone. Bullets should be at least $5 or more, and then there should be some type of fee on it. Why are they not writing down people names who buys a box of bullets? If you buy a box of bullets, boom. If you go into a pawn shop to try to sell something in a pawn shop, they ask for your ID. So why are they not scanning people IDs that buy bullets, that buy this ammunition? So that one weapon that they have that costs $300, it can shoot 1,000 bullets, 1,000 projectiles that could hit anyone at any time. But again, no one talks about that. People talk about the weapon, but they don't talk about the ammunition. And you could get so much more ammunition. I looked it up. There is 500 million guns in the United States. 500 million guns. They don't even know how many bullets. The last time they counted, they had hundreds of billions of bullets, hundreds of billions of ammunition in America. They said that's an estimate. So when you sit here, they said these high-powered rifles or whatever, that's one thing that is shooting all these projectiles. But no one talks about all the projectiles. That's why I'm talking about it right now. Why not sue the ammunition manufacturers? Like I said, Democrats, y'all are looking for something to talk about. Stop fighting with them about the Second Amendment. It was written by the forefathers. Nothing's going to change that. You're not going to be able to rewrite it. If you could rewrite one amendment, you can write other amendments. Then people would think that you're going to take back slavery or something. But no one talks about the bullets. Start fighting them about the ammunition that has to go into the weapons. Let them have their weapons. But let's start suing the ammunition manufacturers. I don't want to lose my life because of a bullet, because of a projectile that someone shoots into the crowd and you don't know who it's going to hit. No. Again, they're trying to make it sound better by saying that you died from gun violence because a gun costs more. They don't want to say he died for a 28-cent projectile. That 28% projectile went into his body, tore up flesh and bone, and killed this person. Unalived him, deleted him because of a projectile, a 28-cent bullet. I mean, we got to talk about this. Presidents have been killed. Other people have been killed. All these political people, they keep, again, trying to make it a political thing and so on like that. It was a projectile that killed him because they could buy a box of $5 bullets. Get yourself 40 bullets. You can shoot, you can miss, you can shoot again, you can miss. We need to stop this white on white violence. It is getting out of hand. It's too much. I wish it would cease immediately so that we have to stop doing this. It's taking lives. It's leaving kids without their father and their parents. I mean, it's a serious situation. The only way we can do this if people work together. Start suing these ammunition manufacturers. Make the price of bullets, ammunition, whatever you want to call it, raise the prices higher. Make each bullet $20. You will have less shootings. People will have to decide if an argument is worth it. I mean, when you buy something for 28 cents, you have money to waste. When you could buy a box of bullets for $5, you can shoot all you want to shoot. You can spend money the way you want to spend money. People shoot off guns during 4th of July, during New Year's, because bullets are only 28 cents. But if you made bullets $20, people would think about shooting off that bullet. They would decide when they want to use that. That's just my point. We have to stop this. This white on white violence is just out of hand. It always seems to come at critical moments in history. People want to be in history so bad that they're willing to do bad things. And like I say, people talking and giving their opinions people saying things that people don't want to hear, you just don't go and listen to what they have to say. But you don't seek them out to do them bad. You just don't give them the time of day. And you'd have wasted your life. What did you think was going to be the in all of this? There are people that out there that wanted to challenge this young man. They wanted to prove him wrong. That gave them something. You stole that from them because you ended a life. You made that choice on yourself that you felt like you had to do something. No one asked you to do anything. You took it upon yourself that you needed to do something to this young man. When there was people out there, colleges, students, they needed to hear what he had to say, whether it was good or bad. People needed to challenge him so that they could try to prove him wrong. That gave them power to go on. That gave them power to prove their points, to listen to the other side, to hear things that they may not have ever heard before, and things that they might have got some clarity into. But you took that away from them. You killed a young man. Some of these presidents that's been killed by gun violence and so on, you didn't give them a chance to see what they had to do. No matter how much you hate them, you still give them their time. If they're wrong, they'll fail. If they're not wrong, they won't fail. It's a win-win. It'll make things better. If they fail, then we give someone else a chance to make things better. You never know when the next person that comes up might be worse. You know, when I worked a job, I hated this supervisor. The supervisor finally left. Another person came in. They were worse. They were 10 times worse. We had people saying they wish the other supervisor came back. You never know what you're going to get. So when one person takes it upon themselves to delete someone because they think they're doing it for the betterment of a collective, you're not a part of the collective anymore. You're an individual. And individuals is what messes up things sometimes, especially when you're thinking with bad thoughts and negativity. This world and this political climate it has so many people, and not even just political, but even road rage. People are so angry and so quick to attack each other. There's no sympathy. There's no empathy for people. I mean, it's crazy out here. Sometimes you just got to think about what the other person is doing and all the people that they reach and they change their lives. And then if you don't go with it, you go find the people that you deal with. Go talk to the people that you cool with that might have the same thinking as you. That's why they have groups and stuff, like they call it, like goth. And they have other groups and stuff. The clique and all of them, they have their own groups. You hang with who you associate with. And then that makes your lives better. But sometimes you still need to know what the other side is thinking. You need to hear their ideas because they may have something to say that may make your ideas even better or prove your point. Build your confidence. So I'm just saying, no, like I said, there's going to be a whole bunch of videos and a whole bunch of people that's going to come out that's a lot bigger than me. That's going to talk about 2A laws again and gun violence and all this other stuff. The Second Amendment is an amendment. Nothing's going to change that. People will continue to fight with it, but they don't talk about the ammunition. Let's change the ammunition laws. Let's raise the prices on a single bullet, on a box of bullets. And maybe that will save some lives. If people can't afford ammunition, people can't afford to kill people. It's just a thought. It's just my opinion. I don't even want to put my face in it because, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people probably won't hear it, but just in case you hear one, especially if I'm talking about Second Amendment laws, those people have weapons. And they have boxes of bullets. Lots of bullets. It's only one weapon, but it's a whole lot of ammunition. So let's start doing something about the ammunition. Okay? You can't have a mass shooting if you don't have a mass stockpile of ammunition. Sometimes, again, we got to think the opposite way. We got to start thinking differently. Let them keep their weapons. Let's do something about all this ammunition that's floating around. Because the next stray bullet may hit you. That's all I had to say. I hope everybody have a great weekend. Be safe out there.